I'll take care of Saren. You take care of the political fallout.
Not exactly the answer I was looking for, Shepard.
The Rise of BioWare, start of a legacy, one of the most renowned game series ever created. This is Mass Effect. With the massive success of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Neverwinter Nights, and Jade Empire to a lesser extent, BioWare had set a high bar for their game studio. KOTOR had solidified them as an RPG powerhouse, which got people to keep their eye on them for their next big game. They already had a pedigree of talent as they made games like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. What they didn't have was making a sci-fi space epic that spanned the Milky Way galaxy and introducing a wide variety of alien races that the humans share the galaxy with. KOTOR did span across the Star Wars universe, but it was all tied to the IP, so there was a sense of familiarity. The story of Mass Effect starts off with the player creating their own version of Shepard, the main character. He or she is a part of an elite military group known as N7 that had been sent to investigate an attack on a colony called Eden Prime. Mass Effect was a departure from the usual BioWare RPG they made up until then. They made an RPG shooter with a modified moral system from KOTOR, now called the Paragon and Renegade system. This system will be fine-tuned later in the series, but it seems basic compared to games like Fallout New Vegas or The Outer Worlds most recently. It's basic in the sense that you'll either go down the good or not so good path while going through the game. In New Vegas or The Outer Worlds, choices you make in those games may have consequences later on that you can't foresee. Paragon and Renegade are exactly what they say they are, and don't have as much depth as those games. It's a fine way to spice up the conversations, and I can't fault the game for this, since it did come out in 2007. You'll have the option to read and explore a number of worlds with the trusty Mako vehicle. This will be your primary method of transportation when exploring planets, which the controls for it are as janky as I remember from the first time I played Mass Effect. I've gotten used to the jank, but that doesn't mean it's good. Thankfully, they'll get rid of it in future games, but that's another story. The main story will have you visit a number of planets that each have their own theme to the mission, where you could be going through an industrialized backwater colony, driving through blizzards on a snowy planet, or a volcanic area filled with ancient ruins. Depending on how much side content you want to do, this game could take you anywhere from 13 to 30 plus hours. There are some good optional quests available, and I would recommend to anyone left who hasn't played this game to check out the Galaxy. The shooting is serviceable with the divisive overheat mechanic, where your weapons will eventually overheat and be unable to fire for a few seconds if you keep firing for continuous bursts. The cover system is where you want to hide behind walls and rocks sometimes doesn't work the way you want it to, which will be improved in Mass Effect 2 and 3. The cast of characters are interesting in learning how each alien race behaves and what their motivations are. You'll meet the nomadic tech-savvy Quarians, the militaristic Turians, the slow-talking Elcor, the lumescent jellyfish Hanar, the battle-hungry Krogan, the calm and biotic Asari, the big-brained Salarians, the mysterious mechanical Geth, and the over-eager and impatient humans. You'll be able to take 2 party members with you into battle, who all have different conversations on the current situation and who you're currently using. This will add a good deal of replayability to hear more about each of those characters. The themes of Mass Effect can surprisingly have dark aspects about the galaxy. Things like species experimentation, black market, organ transplants, genocide, xenophobia, alien racism, and more. There's a lot to delve into that could intrigue everyone in some way. Mass Effect isn't the best BioWare game, but it did lay out the groundwork for making one of the best game trilogies made as of now. What made Mass Effect succeed was the world building, or in this case the galaxy building, to introduce you how the society works in its technology, biotics, which are the force powers of magic, and how each species interact with one another. I give it high praise for succeeding in convincing me to invest in the lore and Mass Effect universe as a whole. For a 2007 game, it was, and still is, a unique game that offers a lot to anyone who puts the time into it.